Alright, welcome back to More Than Peaches Gaming. I'm your host, Mune. And today we're going to actually cover the great world of Demo. So, if you've viewed my previous video on normal demo, it plays a lot like it, except for it's a bit harder, takes a little bit more coordination, and the item level requirement is 2500 as of now. Okay? That will be changing in the future, but just a heads up, everything requiring item level will also change. Alright, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump into Master Demogorgon. It's a very interesting dungeon. Again, it says 2500. Recommended is 2 to 3 tanks, 2 to 3 healers, and 4 to 6 DPS. We're going in there with 2 tanks, and I think the rest are DPS, so 8 DPS. We'll be fine. Alright, so again, I'm going to play this off as the same aspect of play style, and the only difference is Demogorgon hits harder. Enemies have more HP. Things take quite a few other things to do. You know, again, you have to stand on the platform to continue. You have 5 minutes to basically be ready for it. Because I'm playing a slightly different playstyle, I'm going to use the superior fortification potion. I'm going to go ahead and flip my coin. I got power. So, kind of balances out a little bit. Just waiting for everybody to get on here. So, looks like we're gearing to go. Alright, so they summoned Demogorgon. Alright, and I think everybody's pretty much ready to go. So, again, I'm going to distract the hell out of this guy. I'm glad there's another tank in here to help me. Oh, come on. To face Demogorgon, you must... Okay, well, whatever. Kept on telling us the same thing. Okay, so Demogorgon. How to deal with Demogorgon. Basically distract him. Kind of like a little kid. Candy over here. Candy over here. Alright. What was that? Lag. So, that was a little bit weird. I used my, circle of power, as you saw that, and it kind of disappeared. It was kind of weird. I'm going to pull him a little bit further away from the purple, thing, the purple gateway. I'm going to go ahead and run over here to clean it up. Again, he's pretty powerful. He can definitely keep me going. As you can kind of see, the other delusion. Alright, was created through being caught in the fray. You gotta be careful with those delusions. I knew it right away that it looked strange because it looked a lot like me. The paranoid delusions are pretty scary. And they're of, you know, people's companions, their characters, and so forth. Right now we're doing a pretty good job of being right on top of these things. Gotta make sure I hit this. The paranoid delusions do not, however, cause any disruptions in the sanity wells. So, just a heads up, that's a thing. Oh, gee. I don't know whose delusion that is, but that's a scary delusion. It looked like a lightning enchantment, so I immediately thought it was my good pal Cloud, who plays as the character Vanessa, which is a scary thought because they are very powerful. Okay, we achieved silver. We're doing pretty good. We still have about 2 minutes left. Usually it's a pretty close call whenever we run these, simply because you have to be able to kill enemies fast enough, and sometimes the DPS just is not there. Gonna go ahead and burst that. Go back over here to get rid of my sanity problem. So the madness is stacked up a bit, but not enough for me to actually care so much about it. Demogorgon definitely gives me a run for my money. If you're new to tanking, especially of this class, this is one of the first experiences you may have at actual tanking exclusively, rather than charging into battle and killing enemies. I don't know what the heck is attacking me, but this guy needs to go away. Okay, so... Okay, this is getting annoying. Every time I turn around, there's a paranoid delusion behind me. Okay, so... I'm gonna go ahead and pop. Goes the delusion. Okay. We're definitely gonna get gold. I'm gonna go ahead and move him away from the group and their typical destination, as I would put it, which is typically over by the door. There's no sanity wells where you normally would think they would be. Generally, there's just the one. So, sometimes they'll pop up in other places, but for me, I'm just gonna go ahead and run over here. Again, like I said, the lag is kind of getting to me a little bit. The paranoid delusions are definitely a problem. I only have to keep it up for about 10 more seconds. Demogorgon can be challenging. Let's just leave it at that. I'm going to go ahead and run back over here. So, that was the first phase. It seemed so much longer, but not really. Second phase is about to start. This one's a little bit trickier because it might be a little bit more beneficial to ram them into the portals, but a lot of people don't like doing that because there's a risk that poor aiming and the enemy will just gain health. So my objective is to do everything in my power to make sure that this guy does not move. Unfortunately, I can't control where he always goes, so they tell me to hide in sanity well. Okay, so gonna go ahead and boost everybody's defense because, again, gotta be careful where you're aiming because aiming is everything. And debuffing is important. Somebody else has the objective. I'm going to go ahead and jump in the sanity well, because if you get hit by that madness move, it hurts a lot. I don't know where he's going, but he's going that way. Alright, so I got wind. I did not mean to get wind. Makes my reaction time a little bit, deflection a little bit better, I guess, or movement. I always forget. Okay, so somebody went down right then and there. Gotta be careful on this boss because he likes to pull that crap where he will KO people. Some good strategies is always make sure you have temp HP. Always. The best way to make sure that you have survivability as a tank. If you're a DPS, stay out of his line of fire. That's the easiest way to stay alive. You are a ranged DPS, stay out of his line of fire. Simple as that. Healer, stay out of his way, period. Okay, so we've already cleared the first two with gold without much of an issue. We have a pretty powerful team. Now the next challenging part. Getting Demogorgon where you want him to be. Okay? Because of the way I play, I'm going to drag him towards me. Towards this sanity well. The reason being is that he functions a lot different when he gets closer to the sanity well. He has less of a buffer. Okay, as a stronger party, you should be able to handle him, regardless of how much health or ability that the party has. There is a person down over here. I will try to get them up. Alright, we have defeated him, and I believe we have gotten gold. So, same thing as the normal version, you run back this way. There is, of course, a chest. There is a wall before you get there, though, until the rewards are divvied out. So, alright, I got a +2 ring of Vanishing Presence, so nothing too spectacular. And then there's the chest. Again, I do not have a demonic key or of any kind. So it's greater demonic key or ancient dragon key or even the legendary dragon key. So, alright, so again, it's the only place that you can get Twisted Ichor. It is quite challenging. You noticed how much difference in difficulty I was having, as well as others. They were dying. They were going down. I was having trouble keeping my health up. That's just some of the things that you have to keep into context when you're doing that. If you're a healer, you have to be really on top of people not dying. They can technically re-enter, but at the same point, you don't really want to deal with that. Oh, gee. As a tank, you want to make sure who the focus is on in there, and you want to be able to maintain that focus. Same thing with the DPS. You want to make sure where the focus of those bosses are and those enemies, because if they're focused on the healer, it could be bad, or the weaker, DPS, it could end in catastrophic situations. Yeah, and it looks like somebody's calling me to do something else, but for that matter, that was, Master Demogorgon. Hopefully that helps out somebody. Hopefully it was very informational, and it helps somebody beat Demo one of these days, especially if they happen to be an Oathbound Paladin. So I hope you liked the video. If you haven't seen my other videos, please check them out.